Coming up in tonight's bulletin, COP30 is now underway in Belém, Brazil. A justice agency's dialogue between the Solomon Islands and Fiji will officially begin tomorrow, and Prime Minister Manele officially handed over the 20% KFPL share certificate to the Kolombangara Landowners Trust Foundation. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Cheryl Berra. The Pacific Islands are calling for stronger global action at the COP30 Climate Summit, with regional leaders stressing the urgent need for climate finance, loss and damage support and tougher commitments to limit global warming. Sharon Anau reports.
The 30th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP30, is now underway in Belém, Brazil. The annual event brings together over 50,000 delegates from over 190 countries to discuss and negotiate international policies and actions related to climate change mitigation, adaptation and climate finance and support for vulnerable regions. Solomon Islands and other Pacific Island nations are in attendance for the conference. The Pacific region is vulnerable to the impacts of the climate crisis. Speaking to local media today, team lead of the Pacific Island Forum Resilience Team highlighted the region's key priorities.
Our number one priority, as always has been, the 1.5 degree to stay alive. That is the underlying mantra from the Pacific, but not just for the Pacific. It used to be viewed as a political position. Now it's actually the reality backed by science. Our second priority is obviously access into climate finance, while the importance of mitigation, which is the link to 1.5, is the underlying cause of climate change, and we need to address it in that sense. For the realities that we're facing in the Pacific, being able to adapt in our daily realities requires resources, and that means access to financing. Another key priority for the Pacific is oceans. Oceans, we see it not just as in terms of the livelihood for our Pacific, but it's the lungs of the universe in the sense that it both captures carbon dioxide releases, but also in the sense that it creates a vast reality for the Pacific, as we call ourselves the Blue Pacific and the large ocean states.
Securing the bid to host the COP31 in Australia is also among the Pacific region's top priorities at the summit. Australia submitted a bid to co-host the COP31 with the Pacific in 2022.
The importance of that is quite significant in the sense that we can actually ensure that our parties make up to the agenda, that we set the agenda, but also allows us to create momentum for some initiatives that are very Pacific focused. For example, one of the discussions we're having is obviously bringing the oceans into the agenda, the main agenda of the UNFCCC negotiations. Currently, it is not. So that's why it's important. The access to finance, there is a potential to establish specific SIDS windows, and in that even sense, PSIDS windows for climate finance, and also linkages to our PRF.
Supporting the region's priorities this year is the International Court of Justice advisory opinion, which clarified that states have legally binding obligations to protect climate system from harmful greenhouse gas emissions.
What we are saying is the ICJ, as in the highest court, is the most informed opinion on this issue. And it's not to be taken lightly. So those opinions have an potential, and usually does, by practice, to further influence future decisions on legal issues related to climate change.
Sharon Nanal for SIBC TV.
A justice agency's dialogue between the Solomon Islands and Fiji officially opens tomorrow, marking a new step in strengthening legal cooperation between the two Pacific nations. Simon Tavake with the details.
A justice agency's dialogue between the Solomon Islands Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs and the Ministry of Justice of Fiji will begin tomorrow, following a welcome ceremony held today at the National Auditorium. Hosted by the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs, the ceremony featured traditional chupu and sevu-sevu exchanges symbolizing goodwill and appreciation between the two countries. The dialogue aims to strengthen collaboration between Solomon Islands and Fiji following the signing of a legal cooperation agreement between the two nations in February this year. In his remarks, Fiji's Minister of Justice, Siromi Turanga highlighted the significance of the meeting, saying it will deepen and strengthen institutional linkages between the two countries.
I'm confident that by the end of this visit, we will have deepened our understanding, strengthening our institutional linkages, and identified areas where we can continue to collaborate, not only for the benefit of our two nations, but for the collective good of our region. As the saying goes, alone we go faster, but together we go further. The work before us is not for one country alone. It is a regional responsibility that calls for unity, shared vision, and sustained commitment. On behalf of the governor and the people of Fiji and my delegation, I wish to once again thank you, Amborore, the Permanent Secretary, the Minister for Civil Service, and of course distinguished guests today and the people of Solomon Islands for your generous hospitality and the spirit of partnership extended to us.
Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs, George Ho'o, said the visit aligns with the Government for National Unity and Transformation's policy on justice-to-justice partnerships with Melanesian countries and the Pacific Islands Legal Information Institute.
Hemi part of policy law, the current government, for me felt for creating partnerships with him or the Ministries of Justice, not only Fiji but Vanuatu and Papua New Guinea. So that's and for this year, after 9 months of me felt been exchanging with personals, the conversation now by Tuvala Minister for talk on other things more. One fellow would be for Tuvala look at establishing an MSG, Ministers of Justice, kind of a dialogue. But the other one could include him national judiciaries for work together. We're not only at the legal agencies, but national courts to work together. And that is that.
The 5-day dialogue will conclude next Tuesday. Simon Tavake for SIBC TV.
A historic milestone was celebrated on Tuesday as Prime Minister Manele officially handed over a 20% share certificate in Kolombangara Forest Products Limited KFPL to the Kolombangara Landowners Trust Foundation. Sharon Anau reports.
A historic moment for Kolombangara landowners. Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele officially handed over the 20% KFPL share certificate to the Kolombangara Landowners Trust Foundation at Ringi in Western Province on Tuesday. Attending the landmark event were traditional leaders, national and provincial leaders, senior officials, trustees of the Kolombangara Landowners Trust Foundation and community representatives. This marks a significant feat for the Landowners Trust Foundation, who now have become active partners in one of Solomon Islands' most successful forestry stories.
Today's event, ladies and gentlemen, stands as a proud testament of my government's unwavering commitment to the indigenous people of this nation. The journey was long, the road was rocky, but you never gave up. Your perseverance, your patience, and unity have brought us here today. Through the continuous support of GNAT, CADAS was able to deliver this milestone.
The government injected $15 million Solomon dollars to rebalance ICSI's diluted shares in the KFPL in 2022, demonstrating their strong support towards indigenous landowners. Prime Minister Manele called on landowners to take responsibility as they move forward under the partnership.
Be wise, be disciplined, be strategic. Work hand in hand with your new partners and make Kolombangara a model of sustainable forestry and community-driven development in Solomon Islands and in the Pacific. Today is a proud day for Kolombangara. It is a proud day for the Western Province. And of course, it is a proud day for beloved Solomon Islands. This partnership marks the beginning of a new chapter, one of hope, one of shared prosperity, and one of progress. On behalf of the Government of National Unity and Transformation and the people of Solomon Islands, I congratulate all of you.
KFPL currently employs more than 1,000 Solomon Islanders and contributes over 30 million Solomon dollars to the national and local economy every year. Sharon Nanal for SIBC TV.
A two-day free screening program for non-communicable diseases, NCDs, began today at the Youth Hub in Honiara as part of activities leading up to World Diabetes Day on Friday, November 14th. Alex Dadamu reports.
A two-day free screening for non-communicable diseases, NCD, started today at the Youth Hub in Honiara. The event is organized as a campaign leading up to the World Diabetes Day, which will be commemorated on Friday, November 14th.
The purpose of this celebration and exhibition and display Mifaladwimlo here, and 3 days prior to the day where big day of World Diabetes Day. World Diabetes Day will be on the 14th November of this month. So this is a pre-campaign by Mifaladwim, where we the health workers, the specialized people from the hospital and clinics, we came out and Mifala offer them a free service for everyone. Where Mifala check them now blood pressure, Mifala check them sugar, we check them ear, nose and throat, Mifala check them too. TT, Mifala check them where the dental oral health not responsible for. We have the nutrition specialized women here too for giving awareness about diet and nutrition. The ENT group, the dental, I think we might recall them. And then we have the food check where HEMI happened during the time of doing screening. Is anyone where HEMI early detected for diabetes, but HEM go through now the early checkup now and screening of food.
Diabetic cases at the National Referral Hospital is rising at an alarming pace.
Now, if we live around Honiara, where you go past when I'm multi-purpose hall, tomorrow is another day for another checkup. You can come forward and do checkup. I must say that diabetes is on the rise. Number of people cut a leg, have high tumors. Number of people having cancer is on the rise. Number of people with other problems like dental and eye have on the rise because of diabetes, sick sugar. Yeah, so people they sick with sugar, they come to the clinic, it's already complicated. So my message is, if you got time, you can come down today or tomorrow or even to the clinics. We have 9 clinics in the Honiara city. They provide the same services for check for sugar and high blood pressure.
The World Diabetes Day is an opportunity to raise awareness about the impact of diabetes on people's health and to highlight the opportunities to strengthen the prevention, diagnosis and treatment of diabetes. Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
The Solomon Islands National University Students Association, SINUSA, held its election today. Alex Dadamu reports.
The Solomon Islands National University Students Association, SINUSA, held its election today. The election is held to elect new office bearers for the position of President, Vice President, and Secretary for the Students Association. A good number of students turn up to cast their vote after the polling stations opened at 8 a.m. Around 5,000 students are registered at SINU.
So SINU got a total of 5,000 plus students were enrolled, and there are numbers of students that turn up for vote since morning up until now. With regards to security, every polling stations we follow security have been present all over 7 polling stations when we forgot. No any disturbance so far from updates.
The election closed at 4:30 p.m. this evening and the counting process will continue thereafter. Letona calls for calm as the counting of ballots will progress and results will be announced once the counting process is completed.
And tomorrow by counting bahani start lo 8 a.m. lo hukum lecture theater boardroom. So results bahani depend much lo counting nama. If counting him finished then official result by him declare out na. Thank you students, you fala just wait patiently naman for if counting him completed and then by result by him out for you fala.
The Sinusa elections is usually held annually at the end of September. However, citing unforeseen circumstances, the university's electoral committee proceeded with the elections with the results expected by Friday. Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. Thanks for watching.